You know, some people they talk, you're like, ugh, can't listen to that for a while.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
No, you get that warm thing. Yeah.
I wanted to ask because like I was just we were kind of doing like a little bit of yeah, just kind of familiarity and getting to know each other through Instagram and Twitter. But like I kind of wanted to ask you, since I like started following your work, like what acting is like right now these days for you, and or how you got kind of into that, I guess. Obviously you're kind of a jack of all trades and you've done a bit of everything, but like that side of your life that I kind of know through your YouTube videos, like how is that now, and how has it changed, or are you kind of getting by? How's like, I don't know.
Oh, right now I do background work. I'm in the union, so I do background work on a TV show, and
Okay.
they created like a pod because of COVID. So it's like this really rare, unique situation. I was on the show for about 3 seasons, and then so this season they handpicked about 25 of us, and so we work Monday to Friday, and that's from July all the way until March.
Okay.
And so like last week I worked about 70 hours. And so I
Wow.
get like 178 coming in a day, and then after 8 hours it's 35 hours an $35 an hour. And so and then if it's like nighttime, you know, if you get there in the day and it turns night, you get one night penalty, and that's like an extra $15. If you have changes, it's like an extra $8, like to change clothes. If they are late on lunch, it's a meal penalty every half hour that they don't give you your break. So, and then they go over, you know, it's like 10 hours, 12 hours most days, or 9 hours or something. You just keep raking up all that overtime. And so it just keeps coming in. And it's a very rare, unique, sort of like random situation. And other than that, no, I'm kind of a fuck up in my life. I never really had an agent. I never really wanted to, because it's like, it's something I had to get over. It's like an ego thing of like, I don't really want to impress any of these people because I don't like what they're doing. And I don't like their fucking attitude. And they act like they're better, and they act like they got something better to be doing when it's their fucking job, and they can't even give actors the decency of just being polite. And you know what I mean? So anyway, I never got into that. I'd rather just do other people's projects that are people who I know. I mean, since I'm on this set and like learning how things work, it's like I know that I can see the lead actors, they're not always really having fun ever. It's a job for them. They don't want to be there. Um, but and then also like the randomness of it. Someone will just get plucked and just be like, "You're speaking today. You get a line." And the kind of politics that goes into that, the pettiness that goes into that, the ego that goes into it, all the pussy hounding that goes on. It's like at the same time, you see the crew and the casts, not the lead actors, but the background actors, just getting fucked up all day. I mean, everyone's got a vape. Everyone's smoking weed. Everyone's getting drunk.
Yep.
You just see it. You're like, whoa. Like I was on set, and they're like, literally, I was being used for the set, or on standby at least. So I'm like right there behind the camera, and these two, like, one's a PA and one's a props guy, and they're just passing the thing back and forth, smoking weed right there while we're shooting a scene on the set.
Getting
And
away with it.
I'm getting away with it. And then like a day before, I had my little Jewel, and I was on set, and I got like spoken to about it. It's
Oh
like,
my
these fucking
God.
guys are smoking weed right here. But anyway, yeah, that's just where I am with it. I know a lot of people. There's a guy that I work with. He just got a principal in the 4th season of Stranger Things. So he left the show for a bit to go down to Georgia to film that. And
They didn't go all the way to Russia? What?
yeah, yeah. And so people are working. I'm just not, because
Yeah.
I don't even know how to get into. I usually rub people the wrong way. I'm a kind of person that grows on people, I think. And yeah, at least with those people, with those entertainment industry people, I never rub them the right way. But then you'll see a dude who's just a total asshole. He's like a friend. He's a friend. He's a good guy, but he's an asshole to people who aren't his friend.
Yeah.
But they'll be like, oh, yes, of course. And then you'll just see another kid. He's 25. He grew up with one of the supporting actors' dads. He's never done it before in his life. All of a sudden, he's on the show. And then he's doing the stand-in, which is like an extra $50 a day to be a stand-in. And now he's getting a bump, an even more upgrade. Well, he's going to be a kind of series regular. And you're like, well, was that because he said there's nothing, and I trust him at his word when he says there was no weirdness going on, or no weird, the guy didn't say anything to anybody. He's just there. Okay. And he's 25, 6'3", good looking guy. Kind of looks like James Dean mixed with like Ben Affleck or something, like a handsome Italian American guy looking. Could be that. I don't know. And that's why it's so weird to me. I'm just like, well, this is also fucking random and based off of nothing other than a vibe, I guess. So it's like,
and it's often so last minute, and it's just like, random.
Yeah, it's like I'm looking into stunt work or props. Even I would do props because I'm looking at the set. I'm like, who's like more chill than the background work? Because being background is like the lowest of the low, right? You don't get any respect.
I've worked enough sound jobs where I'll say sound department is usually the most chill.
Yeah. Okay. So I looked around. I saw that the props people, the props truck, saw a guy with hair longer than me. Same vibe, tattoos everywhere, long sleeve shirt, wearing Vans, shorts. And he's just like, hey, dude, okay, here's your badge. Here's your gun. All right, what's your number? And you're just like, whoa, okay, that looked pretty chill.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you give them props and then they go to set and you're just there.
Yeah.
I
was saying, that's somebody you would want on your podcast, not any of these other egomaniacs.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but that comes with every. Yeah, I was gonna say it's with every
that guy. Yeah, I mean, he's had issues too. I think his is more like he's a pothead.
Okay.
And when he's at work, he's like not high, so he gets angry. You notice that, like with potheads, they're like they don't smoke, they get angry. Like by half day, they're like, ugh.
Yeah. Grouchy and like unpleasant.
Grouchy. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, exactly.
I kind of asked a little bit about that because the last major shoot that I was a background cast on was back in January, and I can talk about it now since it's the trailer's out there and everything. But it's the new Hulu series called Dope Sick.
Okay.
And I play like an opioid addict who's like waiting outside a clinic and then also sitting in the clinic. And I was just getting such a weird, and maybe it's just because the times have changed now recently, but it's like everything just seems so unorganized and miscommunicated. And half the time, like we didn't know how to get to our marks because no one was telling us where to go, what to do. So we were just kind of aimlessly doing things in the background. And it was just standing there. And we're like, I hope this doesn't wind up in the shot because we don't know what we're doing. No one's coming to us or attending to us. And the only scene where it was decently handled was one where the director told me just to fall asleep leaning against the wall while Rosario Dawson walks in a panic. And I actually got to very, very briefly have an exchange with her where she commented on the shirt I was wearing because it was really like kind of grungy and torn up. He's like, oh, I want one of those. I'm like, cool. That was just like one of those moments where it's like, oh man, I mean, I don't get like weird when like I see like a big celebrity, but like at the same time it's like Rosario Dawson is quite a woman.
She's very pretty. Do you live in New York?
No, I live in Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah. Virginia's for film lovers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But no, I don't plan to live here for more than another year because I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to probably wind up everything's just so crazy right now in the world. Like I gotta figure it out.
You know, older guy told me, he was just like, just save your money, man. Work your at when you're young. Don't worry about,
Yeah, still doing that now.
yeah, just work your ass off, save the money, and figure it out when you have your own free time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a little tough right now because I'm not necessarily like shooting for industry level. It was actually a big turnoff for me in film school because it was like I was just seeing so much egos butting heads and so much politicking going on, and it was kind of setting it up for something for me that I wasn't like as close with. Like I have such a home movie sort of style to how I kind of approached or working with like small crews, dedicated people. And I wasn't kind of seeing what they were prepping me when I went to college, but it's like I'm trying to find like kind of like a middle ground where it's like I'm making the stuff I want to make, but not having to
Yeah.
deal with all the bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, like while those egos that happens on set too. You
yeah,
see it all the time, the egos. But while that's going on, the PAs are back there laughing their asses off.
yeah,
And the background is too. We're just like, this is ridiculous. I
yeah,
mean, the background's usually miserable, but because we're just miserable. But the PAs are always laughing their asses off. You know, so it's like, yeah, you got to deal with it. But if it's in the industry that you like, if it's in the,
sure.
I mean, at least you're on set learning.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
however much it's like miserable, it's still a great learning experience. Just learning how like the director will come on, okay, should we do let's do a 70, maybe let's get a 50 in here. I want to see it with the 50 and let's get a low shot, let's shoot it low, and they'll flip the gimbal upside down and now they're shooting it low.
Yeah.
Now learning how to place background so it makes it look like it's the seamless thing, learning how to block a scene, how to do an action sequence.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that is like indelible to when you have to do it yourself. Knowing like the lingo that they use too is like, oh, it's cool to just know that stuff, because at a certain point you're going to hire some of these guys anyway.
Sure.
And or even people who are younger than you, and then you can teach them this kind of lingo thing too. But you know, I know you're talking about the turnoff, but if you put your own ego aside and just say it's just for the paycheck.
Yep.
Instead of like, I'm getting my paycheck someplace. That's what it was for me. Mostly it was like, I could go and work in retail or be a waiter, but I'm terrible at both of those things.
Yep.
So I'd rather be like, this is just a paycheck, but have it be in something that I'm interested in.
Sure.